All right, anyone notice this trend among some of our government experts lately? It starts off with them telling you a thing. If you question the thing, you will be mocked, ridiculed, and potentially censored. It then turns out later that the thing that they told you wasn't quite as true as they promised you it would be. And when you point this out, they revert to telling you that, well, they never told you the thing that they told you. And then when you show them incontrovertible proof that they did in fact tell you the thing that they told you, they just suggest that you should be mocked, ridiculed, and potentially censored. I can't imagine why we don't trust these guys.
If you're so confused and disoriented that you don't know where you are or where you're going, there are predators of the spirit who are much worse than snakes that are waiting in wait for you. And the probability that you'll move from aimless, hopeless, joyless anxiety to nihilism, corrosive bitterness, and genocidal fantasy in the fundamental extreme is very high. And so that's possession by a predator of the spirit in the desert of the soul. And that's real.
Honey, someone's coming to the house. Someone's coming to the house. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do?
Who are you call the pops? I'm gonna call the pops.
We're recording you.
No. It's okay. I'm just your neighbor. Coming by to say howdy.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, we're not used to people stopping by to say howdy without assaulting us first, robbing us, or defecating on our lawn.
Sometimes all three.
The trifecta. We're from Los Angeles.
Just moved to Texas.
I figured.
Oh, the California plates?
Well, yeah, the masks. Inside your own house. No one else around. 2022.
We just want to be extra safe.
We feel naked without masks.
We'll probably wear them for the rest of our lives.
We'll be buried in them.
Okay. Well, you seem like a lovely couple. Like I said, I just wanted to drop by and welcome you to the neighborhood.
Why? Do you want something?
Oh, no. I think he's being friendly. People around here are friendly. Like we've seen in the movies, right?
I thought that was just make-believe, like superheroes or families that go to church.
No. That's a myth. This is real life.
So, I live in that house over yonder. Name's Kevin.
Hi, Kevin. I'm Tiffany. She, her.
And I'm Steve. He, him.
What are your pronouns?
I don't believe in pronouns. I think they're reductive. In fact, just your asking about it is a microaggression.
Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I didn't mean to.
No, it's okay. I'm just messing with you. I like all pronouns. My favorite is you.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Exactly. So, if you need anything, just holler. My wife and I'd be happy to help.
Baby, he has a gun.
I'm calling the cops.
I'm recording you.
No.
Recording
It's
you.
okay.
Good morning. I'm here to give you an update on the FBI's investigation of Secretary Clinton. What I want to do is tell you what we're recommending. But first, let me tell you what we found. 110 emails in 52 email chains have been determined to contain classified information.
What difference at this point does it make?
8 of those chains are top secret, 36 of those chains secret, and 8 contain confidential information.
What difference at this point does it make?
Everything I did was admitted. There was no law, no regulation.
Secretary Clinton should have known that an unclassified system was no place for that conversation.
I did not email any classified material to anyone on my email.
None of these emails should have been on any kind of unclassified system, not even Gmail.
Well, first of all, nothing was marked classified.
To the contrary,
Nothing was marked classified.
there is evidence in a
Nothing was
tremendous
marked,
amount.
nothing was marked classified.
Now let me tell you what we found.
Oh my God.
110 emails.
It was not the best choice.
52 email chains
It was a mistake.
have been determined to contain classified information.
What difference at this point does it
8
make?
of those chains are top
It wasn't the best
secret.
choice.
36 of those chains
I said it was a mistake.
8 contain confidential information.
What difference at this point does it
With
make?
respect to our recommendation, this is going to be an unusual statement in at least a couple of ways. Although there is evidence, our judgment is that no reasonable prosecutor would bring such a case. I know there will be intense public debate. I know there will be intense public debate. I know there will be intense public debate. Public debate. What difference at this point does it make? 110 emails.
It wasn't the best choice.
52 email chains.
I made a mistake.
Have been determined to contain classified information.
What difference at this point does it
8
make?
of those chains are top
It was not a
secret.
good choice.
6 of those chains
I said it was a mistake.
and 8 contain confidential information.
What difference at this point does it make?
Hey y'all, how's everybody doing? Hey Meat.
What's up?
Not a whole lot. Hey Ridge Runner. Hey
I got
Ragnar.
a
Hey
few.
Dr. Grandma. Hey Hoot. Hey Yorga. Let's see. Hey Mitch. Hey Meat, you're right there. Stua. Mitch, Sharon, Paula, Gina, Frank, Ragnar, Coffee. Let's see. Owls, Ben, SM, Garrett. That's about it. And everybody else is out there that's not talking. Links out there if anybody wants to come up.
I'll be here for a little bit. I'm just waiting for my party to get over here to the dinner place, and then I'm gonna go to lurk mode and go in and have dinner.
Yeah, I ain't gonna be up too long. I didn't realize Bonnie had one going too, but she's gonna be on it like an hour and a half, so I might do an hour show. So might be
Right
short.
on.
Hey Indy.
See if I can
Yeah.
find it.
Is it pretty out there where you're at today?
Oh, it's not too bad. I'm actually home for the weekend already. I got home I've been in town for about an hour approximately.
Yeah, it was
It's a little bit cooler, but not too bad.
it was like 55 out here this morning.
I think it was mid 60s most of the day.
Yeah, got a message earlier. I didn't realize I was out and about earlier taking my son to his appointments and stuff. I got a message, and it was from Lake Fair, and she was telling me about the war started in
In Israel, yeah.
Yeah.
Hamas attacked them or whatever, and yeah, they declared war. If you check your Facebook Messenger, that's what I'm getting ready to eat here shortly.
All right, let's see. Hey,
And
George.
that burrito weighs about 3-ish pounds.
That's a little bit of food.
Yep. It'll be quite filling.
Let's see if I can get it up there, and I'll say show it to George.
Yeah, that burrito, like I said, that burrito's almost 4 pounds. As you can tell by the picture, I mean, it's longer than that knife is.
Yeah,
It's, like I said, it's a good sized picture.
the short weigh's longer than the blade of the knife.
Yeah, I mean, if I moved the rest of it down, it'd be longer than the knife, and it's a good almost 2 inches in diameter. It's literally a 2 to 3 pound burrito. But I mean, they'll charge like almost I think it's $18 and change with tax, for the burrito and like chips and a drink or whatever, plus whatever you tip the waiters. But it's a lot of food. When you get a burrito that big. Hey, George.
I don't know if he's got a connection, if he's working or not.
I don't know. I guess we'll find out here in a second.
It was 34 when I got up this morning. Yeah, that's too close to starting to freeze. I guess it's bad connection.
Probably. Or he opened it in the wrong browser.
Hey, Bonnie.
Stinger's like, give me a chimichanga.
That's entirely up to you, Bonnie. That's why I come on. I was going to come on earlier, but I set it for 6:30, and then I got to look, and you sent an email, and I was like, okay, I'll make it even shorter. But either way you want to do it, Bonnie, you want the link to come up and talk about whatever, or you can just do it on yours, and I don't want to interfere. That link, when I throw it out there, is for anybody. You working now, George?
Did you unmute your microphone?
I tried clicking it, didn't do nothing. Let me see if there's any other.
Because it's showing he's muted on his thing, on his bottom left picture there. It shows he's muted.
Yeah, I think he just muted it.
You still can't hear me.
There we go. Now I can hear you.
There you're working.
Winner, chicken dinner.
I'm going to try something else.
How's it going over there? This war in the Holy Land stuff ain't good. Hey, Stan. Hey, Shad.
Hey, Matt Chad. Hey, Stans. And hello, Bonnie.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you, George. You're good.
Shad, I thought you were a mod, but something happened. I lost a bunch of them. You are now, unless you don't want it. Says somebody's devices aren't connected. He dropped again.
Yeah, it was working. I could hear him, so. I'm sure he'll get it figured out. Then I'll go enjoy my 3 or 4 pound burrito with nachos, chips, salsa, and queso.
Yeah, because I'm kind of like a kid with no toys by myself. It's like, okay, take toys away. I'm bored. I sit here and wander off. So I try to make sure I got people up there so I can keep the conversation going.
They didn't leave you with no toys.
No, I mean, even as a kid growing up, didn't have nothing to do. You can only play with some things so long.
Sure. Well, you got any like movies to watch or?
No, I mean it like on here. If I'm up here by myself, it's like,
I mean, there's plenty of people in chat. I'm sure you had no problem getting a bunch of them up here.
Hey, Parzival. Used to be until I started trying to come back.
All right, let's see if this works better.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. You were sounding good before, but you sound good now.
Try it now, George. See how loud you are.
Am I all right?
Is that better?
Yeah. Okay. They're going to legalize killing the Palestinians, right?
Probably. If they're smart.
That was retaliation for what the Israelis did to them when they were going to the Palestinian Christians were going to the church and they killed them, right? Now it's payback, but now they're going to declare war on Palestine so they can kill a bunch of them. Yeah.
Yeah, ain't nothing better than to take advantage of a situation. Huh?
That's what it's all about, Chuck. That's what it's all about. You know, they've been torturing it. They call it the biggest open air prison in the world. You're talking the most populated place on the planet, Palestine. And they're making it smaller and smaller. They have for 75 years. These people are not nice people, these Zionist people.
Kind of get to give you the warm and fuzzies like shit in your pants.
But people are sitting there, they call themselves Christians and they're going to pray for them. These people teach in their schools to their kids, the Zionist people teach their kids that Jesus' mother was a whore and his dad was a Roman soldier. This is what they teach their freaking kids in their schools.
Yeah, the Zionists are off. That's part of the bad ones. That's the ones that Adolf was trying to rub out.
That's the ones that used to sacrifice the babies and still drink the blood.
Yep. I was going to say that too, but they're all in on that. They got their own little islands. They're the top money.
They're the billionaires. They're the ones that tell you who to vote for. I don't know. I shouldn't rant or rave because you know what? We're going to go through this no matter what I say.
Yeah.
You know, my whole thing was to get people activated and in their communities and to grow food and to learn what it means to love each other in a community. There's where you're going to find real love. You'll never find it on the internet. You'll never find love on the internet. You're only going to find true love in your community. Something you can touch, something you can hold.
Yep.
Otherwise, it's just fantasy. It's like a dream. YouTube is nothing but a dream.
The problem you're going to run into is most people don't know what real love is.
Well, that's a case too. That's a case. I mean, I went through that in my life. I didn't know what it meant. Then, you know, God put a special person in my life. But, you know, that goes from, you know, it wasn't all, I can't blame it on nobody but myself. I mean, I let it happen to myself. Everything that's ever happened in my life pretty much has been because of me. It's not been because of somebody else.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm not going to shift no blame. I'm a person that believes in, hey, corporal punishment's corporal punishment.
Hello, if you've ever just hopped on up here.
Hey, how's it going, bud?
What are you talking about?
Whatever.
Talking about people loving each other that's around them because you can't really trust what happens on the internet.
Okay.
If they aren't tangent, you can't reach out and touch them, then chances are it's fake somewhere through it.
Well, Chuck, when you hug somebody, when you physically hug somebody, don't it feel different than when they just tell you over the internet that, oh, I love you? Yeah, it's totally different. It's a different kind of love. It's a true love. That one where someone tells you, hey, I love you and hugs you and touches you. You can feel that transfer of energy. People.
Yeah, that's that tangible stuff, not the pretend.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the truth. That's the true love. And the only place you're going to find that is in your household and in your community, your local community.
How you doing, Barstool? Yeah, Bonnie, do you want to come up here to talk about it? I'm going to get off here to let you get on your show if you don't want to come up here. So I wasn't trying to interfere with yours.
Sorry.
Yeah, Jorga said that's a beer.
Yeah, it's a white beer.
It's just as heavy as a heavy beer.
Well, look how big the glass is.
I used to do the 12-ounce curls. I know better.
George Ben said his landlord loves him on the first of every month.
Yeah, there you go. That's something you can hold and touch, right? Transfer the money. Yeah, I'm lucky I don't have a landlord. I've been that route though.
Yeah, somehow we got our hands in everything as Stuart is. Probably some three-letter agency directed this.
I think it's more it's more like a 5-letter agency.
I have a hard time believing that they didn't have good enough intelligence to see this attack coming.
You know they did. I mean,
I can almost guarantee you they knew it was coming and let it happen anyway.
they let that their Pearl Harbor, right? Our 9/11.
Never let
Whatever
a
you want to call it.
tragedy. You can benefit so much from a tragedy.
Right. I mean, this is what you feast on. Remember, never let a crisis go to waste, right?
Right.
Kind of like when they were gassing over there a few years ago, and then they wanted to show on TV all the kids running around and laying around. And normally they wouldn't want to have that on, but this adds credibility to their bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a world gone mad. And it ain't getting any better because everybody's in a whole different, they're in their own different world. They're in their own little cliques, like high school bullshit. I mean, you know, what's so hard about the truth? People don't want to hear the truth.
That's because the truth makes them accountable. They don't want to be accountable.
Well, I tell you what, they ain't going to frickin' heaven when they die. You're going to judgment, and you're not the judge. So you can't tell me you're going to heaven because you haven't been judged by the judge yet. And you're not going to heaven until you're judged. You can think all the shit you want to think, that you're the perfect person and everything else in the world. I guarantee you, even the bad Amish live a better Christian life than you do. It's time just to wake up and relax and
man,
change our lives. All of us got to change. I mean, me too. I'm no different from anybody else. But at least I try. I try in my neighborhood. We give food away all the time to people that we grow. We try to get people encouraged into growing their own food, knowing where the food comes from, not being part of the whole system. To learn how to break away from the system. You can't say that you're going to fight a system that you're connected to totally. You just can't.
Hey, Bonnie.
Sorry about that, George. Hey.
Hi, Bonnie.
I just come up here making all kinds of noise. Sorry about that.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'm supposed to know better.
It's your first time on the internet.
Yeah, Hoot, I don't know. That the Israel stuff and them warring over, that's like biblical stuff. And
hell, they've been fighting over there for like 2,500, 3,000 years, something like that.
Yes, they're always at war. And I don't know if y'all noticed, but DC slipped in $6 million over there a week before the attack. Coincidence?
No.
Just like the same thing with Armenia and Azerbaijan, when the conflict they had there. Who was just over there? You had Blinken, you had Nuland, you had Pelosi, who snuck over there, and then all of a sudden you got all this other bullshit. I mean, people can't even see that we're the fucking beast of this fucking system. Yes. And they want to save it. I want to see it destroyed. I want to see it totally destroyed. I'm just tired of people.
The way things are going, that'll happen before too much longer. Go ahead, Bonnie.
Hey. No. We are not going to sit and watch it be destroyed.
What are you going to do?
There's this thing called uniting. If everyone...
Good luck. Good luck.
understand it. I know, George. It seems impossible.
I've been at it for 30 years, Bonnie. It isn't impossible. It's totally impossible.
Stuart, what's wrong with the sound?
Something wrong with the sound. I can hear all of y'all. I don't know if they hear us.
I don't mean to jump on you, Bonnie, or nothing, but you know me. I've been at this for too damn long. I've been trying to just tell people, hey, how we save ourselves is saving ourselves. Ourselves, not giving your rights and everything to anybody or everybody else. You save your community. These are the people you're going to rely on if shit hits the fan.
Well, yes.
Well, then you got to get out and do it. Don't be waiting for someone to send you an invitation.
What happens to morals and compassion?
What's that?
If we only worry about ourselves, that's the same thing as worrying about ourselves. It's still, we're supposed to think of others always. It doesn't say who the others are.
That think of others, but you're putting everybody else ahead of yourself. You need to gain skills. You know what? There's only certain things any humans got to do, and we're all humans that are in this fight right now. There's only 5 things. You got to have food. You got to have water. You got to have air. You got to have a community. Some of us, like where I live, it's 38 degrees right now. I got to have heat. Them are the things you need to survive on this planet. And if you can't produce none of that, you're fucked. How's that? Plain and simple. I'll tell you right now. And not someone like me is going to let you go sit on the couch through all this as you see it coming and going to come fucking give you a donut. I'm not giving you shit if you're not doing it.
I'm not sitting on the couch.
I'm not saying you, Bonnie. I'm not going to be able to get to you. You ain't going to be able to get to me.
No.
Well, then what I say shouldn't bother you at all, except you should be just doing it. And that's what I'm saying. I'm always getting from people, well, they're not doing it, so I'm not going to do it. You don't need somebody else to do it. Remember, only you stand alone on Judgment Day. You stand alone at the throne and get judged. Nobody else. Not your kids, not your mom, not your dad, not Chuck, not me, Papa, nobody.
The only thing I'll say before I go grab some dinner for a little bit before I go, the only way we're going to even start to fix this country is to put God in all the places that we kicked them out of. Start with that first, and then we can start to fix this country. Until then, sadly, no matter how hard you try, you're not going to fix it until you do that.
Nope.
And you know what? That's going to take time. So that means we got to produce food ourselves.
Well, yeah, you still got to be prepared and have your own stuff to take care of your own needs. Absolutely. But if you don't have, in my personal opinion, if you don't have Jesus in your life, you're really not going to be able to fix your problems.
Well,
I mean, sure, you'll be prepped and ready and getting food and what have you, but
that's true. I mean, you're right about that. There's no.
But anyway, I got the rest of my family's here, so I'm gonna go in and grab some dinner. So I will catch you guys when I'm done if you're still here.
All right.
Enjoy yourself, Mika.
All right, I shall return if you're here.
Give me one of them chimichangas, man.
Chimichangas?
No, a chimichanga.
Chimichanga.
One of them Cheech and Chongers.
Right.
I think you're talking about a chica.
One of them too on the side.
And Puppet's
a chica and an chimichanga.
Puppet's right. You know that Jesus comes first, but you know the Bible also says you have to act.
Yes.
It's not about saying it. You got to do.
We are supposed to do our actions that we need to do to get through here.
Yeah, but if you're not working together to help feed each other, make sure that each other has security, to be able to help each other with medication problems, help each other, you'll never get through this, is what I'm saying. If you
Yes.
don't have a skill, you're totally out of the loop. What can I say? And even if you have skills, you still might not make it to the other side of whatever's coming.
No.
I mean, there's no
Tomorrow's not
guarantee.
promised to anyone, no matter what you do.
But at least if you have a skill, you're giving yourself a better chance, because if you find people with skills, they're going to want people with skills. They ain't going to want someone that just don't want to do anything or has no knowledge.
Exactly.
I mean, that's just simple fact. It's been written in history many a times. I mean, everybody's got to have a part in this, and it don't look very good for, if you want to call it a country, call it a country. Man drew all these lines through the world. God didn't. Man did that. So
I watched a channel today. He was pretty good.
what
It
was
was
that?
what's it called? Survival lead something. And so he's got all his family out there. They got tents pitched. They got a portable shower popped up with a bedside toilet thing in it with the garbage bag. Like I've been talking. They got it going on, and he's got generators. He's got chargers, and they're doing everything. No electricity. He's got solar. Little solar panels, and they're staying the weekend out there. No power, no water. They do have a main water source close by, and they're doing it. I actually put the link on my community page if anyone wants to check it out. But it was pretty good. It was just watching them, and it was so funny because he just had hernia surgeries, and so he's telling his kids and everybody what to do, and he's not liking the way they're doing it. And I was like, but it worked. What are you upset about? If it works, do it. And that's it. Everyone does everything a little bit different, but that's where it comes to. And as long as the job's getting done, does it matter how they do it?
Yeah.
No.
Why?
I mean, you're going to have different things for different areas. It depends where you're at.
You need to do it my way or it's the highway.
Well, see, then there we have a problem. See,
there's no problem for me.
Always wants to be the leader.
There's no problem for me. I'm used to being a general. Listen to your elders. And I'm older than everybody. No,
I'm sorry,
I get your point. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
I'm older than you, and I'm a woman. What a bad combination for you, huh?
That's a horrible combination. It means you're smarter than I.
No, it
I don't like that.
And George.
One time I had a boss that was a lot dumber than me, and it used to make me so mad until I realized, wait a minute, my boss is dumber than me. I can use this. Once I figured that out, it was great. Like, wait, I can outsmart this guy all day long.
He's still the boss. So George.
And I didn't want to be. Anyway, so George.
I know quite a few people online that have met their significant other online. And so what if it's done backwards? What if it's done where you're communicating for a year or two, getting to know each other that way before you actually physically touch that person?
Do you think you got a year and a half left? Do you think you got 10 years left? Do you got 20 years? Depends what you want to do with your life. You can do whatever you want. I believe in true freedom. That's why I believe in people throwing away their country right now. They can fucking do it. Because I believe in true freedom. I mean, it just depends what you want in your life. If that's what you want in your life, then go for it. I'm all for it.
What's that got to do with online romance?
God looks at it that way too. He gives you the freedom to choose whatever you want to choose. I'm the same way.
She's talking about online romance. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about if that's the way she wants to find a man. I mean, that's her prerogative. I mean,
well, it's not typically the way I choose, but I'm just saying I've seen it work with numerous people. I know one that has been married for 10 years, 2 children, and they're doing just great.
Okay, that's great. But why are you asking me this question? Because of what I said about love and the internet?
Yes.
Well, but here's the whole thing.
Thank you, Bug Out.
You're talking about a whole different deal than what I was talking about.
Yeah, I met my wife the old-fashioned way. I was like 7 or 8. She's 5 or 6. It was CB friends of my dad's. We were over at their house and they had a pool party, and there was a bunch of kids came over there. And we met years later doing shooters at a buddy of mine's house. She came in, and her sister was that buddy of mine's wife. So we met then. They got in a knockdown drag out. We took off with the son because it was Auntie Vicky. So we took off with the kid, and me and her have been together ever since. Poor girl got stuck with me for 40-some years.
I don't think it was bad there, Chuck.
Something worked.
Yeah. Ain't many out there, but I'd roll in fire to save her. So.
But Bonnie, but just as you're saying that, hey, people find people on the internet, and you're right. People also find bad people on the internet.
Yes, no doubt.
And I guarantee you, your chances of finding somebody bad, if you're playing in Vegas, I'd watch the odds. I'd play the odds. And especially what we're talking about right now, I'd be really playing the odds.
Yes. And Meat Puppet, yes, that is definitely pure love. And Benjamin, I'm glad you're not looking for a man online.
You probably
I knew a girl who had an online romance, and the guy was really good looking. He was from some Latin country. I can't remember what. And this girl she was about 5'10", I think. And they finally meet, and the guy comes in on the plane. He was like 4'8", man. The guy he had no idea this guy was like little itty bitty dude. And it didn't go well. It didn't go well at all. He was up here for like a week staying with her, and she was like, oh no, ain't nothing going to happen here. You know, he kept wanting something to happen, and it was like, no. After talking online for like a year and a half, you know, it's like, yeah, I told her, I said, you should have relented. You should have, after all that time and money and stuff.
She should have sang to him, we represent the Lollipop Guild.
It was the Lollipop Guild, man.
Yeah.
Short people need love too. See, and that's going by the physical. But
he should have probably told her, look, I'm not really that big. He looked great in pictures, man. I mean, the guy looked like Fabio, man, in pictures, man.
Well, yeah, you awesome.
Where's he at? Oh,
questions like, how tall are you? What do you do? I don't know.
That's a pretty easy question. How tall are you? What do you mean, in dog years or in Mexican lillibeaters or what? You know, I don't know. Wait.
And I've had people ask me how much I weigh. You know, it's like it.
Well, if you're gonna meet, you should know.
That's stuff I still don't ask my wife how much she weighs.
But now you're married. You don't do that. Hell no. Oh no. Hell no.
Well,
my question always was, does these pants make my butt look funny? I'm like, I got to go over here.
Why do they always throw those trick questions in there? Like, does this dress make me look fat? You know?
You say it awesome. It's like, how bad is it? And I'm like, well, it looks terrible. Then I'm an asshole. So it,
either way, you're screwed, man. Either way, there's no good answer. You just need to go, oh, did you hear the doorbell? I need to go.
That's when you tell her, I don't care if you're wearing a feed sack, you look beautiful to me.
Is that the? Oh, I need to write that down. Hold on. I'm getting it from a real woman here. You write that one down.
Chuck's all looking for the paper.
Instead of, oh my God, you're so fat. Did you iron that dress out in the driveway? I mean, holy shit.
Yorga, you're hopeless.
I am, but I'm lovable, darling. I'm not that tall. Somebody said I was tall. I'm not that tall. I'm like 5'9".
yeah, I'm 6'7", but these are 10-foot ceilings behind me.
I know, dude. Chunky baby is a giant, man. 6'7". Holy crap, man.
Can't go by the background.
That's big. No, he looks smaller, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I can take him.
He's also sitting down.
Yeah, I'm only this far away. The mic's right here, and I'm like, if I sit back here, it looks like I gotta leave the room almost.
Yeah.
Lily, I like your icon. Look at Mr. Peabody. I remember you watching that. What was his name? Sherman or
Sherman and Peabody. Yeah.
Me? So you're not no short fella either. You say he's 6'2".
Excuse me.
Sherman and Peabody. God, that gets going way back.
That's what the 60s that was out.
Yeah.
I'm 5'4". I'm short.
5'4".
And she'll swear up, and I'm 5'1.5" or 3/4, or I'm like, you just got to have that. She's like, you metal swear up and down 5 inches is a foot long, so.
Yeah. And that's funny because all the girls in my family are different sizes. Well, the two youngest are 5'3", and then it starts going up. My oldest daughter is 5'6". My granddaughter, her daughter, is 5'9", and then the boys are 6 foot or above.
Udall Holland says, how many times has Yorga been hit in the head with a frying pan? Too many times. Too many times. But I got real good at dodging them. I got like Olympian frying pan dodger. You know, you get behind the couch and then stick your head up every now and then and go, what did you want, honey?
I like Andy's answer. Not enough.
My grandfather was like 5'3". He might have weighed a solid buck soaking wet. My grandmother, she was 5'3". She probably weighed 200 pounds. She's a big old gal. But my grandfather's dad, Rufus, he was 7'8". I don't know how in the hell you go from you're 7'8", you have a 5'3" kid, but
7'8".
Yeah.
They should have put him in a wrestling, man.
Wrestling?
He's a big old German.
Why wrestling? They can't move fast.
Well, it doesn't matter. The bigger the guy is, the better it looks.
The harder they fall.
Well, the harder they fall too. But I mean, you know, that's just one of the things. It's like basketball. Okay, put him in basketball, man. Shit.
There you go.
Look at Andre. He was like that tall, and he didn't move fast or do nothing fantastic. He just hold his foot up. Hell, he weighed 500, 600 pounds, but he was so big that it didn't look like it.
Yeah, I can't remember how tall he was. I think it was right around 7 feet. But yeah, he was a monster. He was a monster. He could put an egg through his wedding ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, an egg.
Fingertips on the tops and bottom of basketball too. His reach was that big.
Yeah, Andre was but he had a disease that was constantly making him grow throughout his entire life. It never did stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, poor guy.
Let's see.
He had a place in North Carolina. that he lived, and his daughter still lives there, and she goes and does these shows. They do these wrestling shows and whatnot. You know, it's Andre the Giant's daughter. You know, I always liked him. Man, I thought he'd be fun to party with, but I don't think I could keep up with him.
He was known as the Gentle Giant.
Yeah, yeah.
He was born, he weighed 13 pounds.
Damn.
His mother was 5'2" and his father was 6'2". Let's see.
I can't remember the name of that disease, but he had it, and there's no cure, and it just.
He's 7'4", 520 pounds.
7'4". Good God. The biggest person I ever met. Now, Chuck, what did you say you were? 6'7"?
Yeah.
That's giant. That's giant. The biggest person I ever met in my life was Psycho Sid, or they called him Sid Vicious. You know, WWE wrestlers. The only wrestler I ever met. He was 6'8". And man, I felt like a little kid, you know, next to him. I mean, it was like 6, and you don't really think about 6'8" though, man. Now, my God, that's a big person, man. Holy crap. And then you said Andre was 7'4", so he would have made Sid look like a little kid, and I'd have been like the grandbaby next to all three of them.
And it doesn't matter how tall you are or whatever, it's to your baby's birth weight. It's how much you eat. Because I had one that weighed over 10 pounds. And this poor little lady beside me in the hospital, her baby weighed 14.
Good God.
They were like, I guess this is a month of the big babies.
I thought
But
they
he
were going to
was
be
like-
twins, but it was only one.
Yeah. My son, he pushed up with his arms as soon as he was born, looked me straight in the face, and I was like, uh-oh.
He's ready to start goes.
Yeah, he was eating cereal when he was 2 weeks old. There was no milk didn't do it.
That's actually a good thing. You get them on that solid food as soon as you can. All my kids started walking before they were 8 months old, or right at 8 months. All of mine did. Every one of them.
And are they bow-legged? I always heard that as a wives' tale.
I'll have to look at them now. They're all like in their 40s and shit. Man. So, I don't know. Like, walk around a little bit. Let me see if you bow legged. No, I don't think I don't think they are. I want you to do something for me. Walk around the house a little bit. I got to look at. Ooh, yeah. No, I don't think they are. I don't think. Never really looked at.
I always heard that if they walked before a year old, they'd be bow-legged. I don't know why. I guess
It's an old wives' tale.
Yeah. Because their bones are still.
Yeah, but I mean, they're going to walk when they're going to walk. I mean, it's
That's
ain't
right.
like you're going to go back and crawl some more. You know, you might be bow-legged when you're older. Why are you doing that? You can't do that.
No, you can't force them not to.
No, hell no.
Yeah, my grandbaby, he's 8 months and he's wanting to walk. He crawled for a minute and he's like, forget that. He's ready to run.
Be running before you know it.
Chase his daddy around.
Me personally, I'm glad to be out of that infant stage. You know, just having infants. Man.
I love it.
Oh. I did it twice. I had two sets of kids. I had a girl and a boy, and then less than, let's say, 11 years later, I had a boy and a girl. You know, with different spouse. You know, that go around. But I had two sets. So I went to the infant thing. You know, twice, 4 times. Boy, I don't want to do that.
And oddly, it was less stress with the last two than with the first four. Well, I mean, the numbers are less, yes, but it was different.
Yeah, my second set were easier. Yeah, they were.
Yes.
They were easier. I guess because you're older and I don't know why, I don't know. Or you know more, or you're already trained, for what's going on.
Yeah.
First kid, you're padding and locking everything down and taping it shut. And by the time you have the third one, it's like, here, you want a knife to play with?
Well, no, not quite that.
I know it's about that bad, though. It's like, and now Andrew, he's there. All of them are like, how come he gets away with that? I'm like, we're old. He's like a grandchild.
Yes. But I called poison control with the last two more than I ever, not just poison control. They were constantly doing something stupid.
Oh,
the last, sticking things up their noses they weren't supposed to go there, and eating construction paper and just stupid stuff.
Did they ever cut each other's hair? I had that one happen a couple of times where all of a sudden they come out and they've got these crazy haircuts. It's like, what the hell are y'all been doing? Cut each other's hair.
Yeah, they come out looking like the people.
Looking like the freaking Three Stooges, man.
Right.
I'm like, I don't care. You're the one that's got to go to school tomorrow.
That never happened with the youngest two, but my oldest son, somehow my daughter got gum in her hair, my oldest daughter. And so he decided he was going to cut it out before I saw it. And so she and I were both pretty mad because I had to take her to a beauty shop and she got a really short haircut.
My oldest sister, and I was the youngest in my family. I had an older brother and two older sisters. And my oldest sister, and we're talking back in the 60s. I remember the Beatles were out, and she had beautiful, long black hair. And for whatever reason, she let me comb her hair, and I was like 3 or 4. Well, those great big combs. Remember the great big combs they used to have that were like that big? I had one of those things, and somehow or another, I got that thing stuck in her hair. And there's no getting it out. I didn't mean to do it, but I was like 4, man. There's no getting it out, and she had to cut all her hair off. And to this day, she still has short hair. From ever since then, that was the last time she had long hair. I don't know if she just prefers short hair. She never got mad at me or anything, but I'm pretty sure she was.
We're coming up on an anniversary, y'all. Look here.
Man.
November 7th, 2020. 168, 182.
Yeah, mine was 325 today.
That's cheap. Because I only get premium. I only buy premium for my lawnmowers, for everything, just because I just want the best. And last time I got gas, it was right around $5 a gallon.
Yeah, I saw the gas station here this morning. It's $2.98 for regular. So probably
regular.
I
just said I don't do no regular. I'm just spoiled on high tests, for everything.
figure it's 30 cents more a gallon each step, so premium's probably $3.60.
We haven't had under $3 in quite a long time.
But it's all okay. Bidenomics is working. Bidenomics is working.
No, it's not.
Even just hearing that word makes me cringe. It makes me Bidenomics. It means everything's higher than it was before, and you're a freaking jerk.
It's like somebody say, bend over and put your hands on the mattress right there. We're going to check you.
And we're going to make you like it.
Yeah.
So, have you been seeing all the back and forth about the border, the wall? So, Ding Dong decides to finish the wall.
Ding
and
dong.
then everybody's fighting him, saying, no, are all these, what do you call them? The people that want all green.
Environmentalists.
Yes, and they're all fighting. No. But even where he's wanting to put it is valleys, and not just valleys like cliffs, or it's terrain. I don't even see how they could do it, and I don't think anybody's coming through right there. If they are, they're pretty good climbers. I don't know. It's crazy to me what is going on about that. And then Anthony Aguero had a video today. They were doing a protest in San Antonio over the illegals, and it was a really sad showing. I was really surprised there were not a whole lot more people there, but the Catholic Charities are the ones that are putting these people up. And so they're at this hotel. They have police officers all around there to protect the illegals, not anybody else. In fact, they will get after anyone who tries to come too close, filming, bright lights, whatever.
I don't know. It's all just a ruse. Supposedly he was going to put up 20 miles of wall, which is impressive, but we need 500 more miles.
Well, that's where he's talking about, that there's 700 miles of border in Texas. Is that how much it is, Chuck? Something like that.
700 or 800, somewhere around there.
But what's the difference? You can build the wall if you don't keep the gates shut. It doesn't do no good anyways, right? The gates are wide open.
Doesn't do any good. And if you put up 20 miles of wall on a 500 mile border, people are just going to walk around it.
Well, the border patrol is cutting the barbed wire. The border patrol.
I think some of the pictures of they'd have 500 feet of it, have a 10-foot gap, then another 2 miles, then a 5-foot gap, and then it's
yes. And even with the razor wire, it's 3 to 5 deep, and those people are just cutting through it. And if they get hung up, someone helps them cut through it. BP.
I got an idea. How about something much cheaper than a wall or a fence or razor wire? It's called landmines. We put landmines out there. And now they work. Landmines work. They really do. And they're a lot cheaper. All you got to do is dig a hole. See, Chucky Baby's in this with me, man. He's all over this, man.
All you got to do is dig a hole. It ain't my fault you people walk through it. We tell you
they're there. Go out there and put them out there, but all it's going to take is one little kid with his leg missing or something to get worldwide news. And, oh, these freaking landmines, put some more out there. How about that shit?
Oh, yeah.
Or yard darts. Yard darts.
So Ding Dong was saying that they already had the construction and all the stuff to build this 20 miles of fence. But then somebody investigating found out that he auctioned all of it off a week ago before he even decided or publicly said he was going to do that.
That's so he can hit the economy again with another Biden special. It's like ice cream in a cone. You got an old drunk man wandering over here that don't know where he's at, but he can find an ice cream cone.
Yeah.
Fucking jack off.
They need to line the border with ice cream cones, and maybe he'll come down there and take a look at that shit.
It doesn't matter. His people come and clean it all up, and I don't know where they stuck them, but whenever he went to El Paso or Eagle Pass, wherever it was he went, they cleaned up the streets. You couldn't even tell they were there. And a week before, it looked like slums.
Yeah, I heard about that too.
Yeah, you couldn't get pee pads and knee pads down there with no matter what you did.
Mm. And I hate it that it's every city in the United States, but we're overrun. And these cities are saying they're overrun with 10,000. It's times that by about 50 is what we have here in Texas. And
hell, we got a population of 1,200 here, Bonnie. I think I told you this. Somebody said they recently did an estimation of the census that we've somehow or another gotten over 2,000 more citizens in Wascom.
Oh my goodness.
So that means it's tripled.
Yeah. Well, ours aren't immigrants that are moving here. It's California and New York and
I'll trade you.
All over the place. They're moving around me, but
it's too much of this. Press that one.
Yeah.
How come you push one for English and you still don't get English?
Mm-hmm. Lily,
hello,
you're in the Grande.
Hello, my name is Jeff. Yeah, I'm sure your name's Jeff.
Yeah, that's where they were going to put the wall in the Rio Grande Valley or something like that. Can't remember the counties.
Landmines. I'm telling you, landmines. That's what we need. Landmines. We need a lot.
Glass balls go under the bridge that takes you to the entryway where you sign up. You go under the bridge and wait there for air conditioning and shipments. You get food and tents and movie tickets and Reeboks and the new cell phone and
That was the old world that we need to write about so that our kids know this is the way it used to be. And it's the same thing with the military. Military, your uniform had to be spot on or else you were scrubbing toilets or scrubbing floors or doing something.
Oh, yeah.
Not anymore.
Yeah. My old man ate a lot of potatoes, so that tells you what.
You know what I hate? You know what I hate is back in the 80s, I went into Mexico a couple of times, probably more than that. And we used to have to walk across the border.
Yes.
And we'd go get drunk, That's what we're doing over in the Navy. And but you notice as soon as you cross the border, there's garbage everywhere. You could smell urine, okay? I mean, it was like ammonia. Yes. And the more and more illegals that we have around here, the more and more, I don't smell urine, but the more and more trash I see in the ditches around here and stuff, just throw it out the window, man. That's where the garbage dump is. That's what they're used to. I can't stand it, man. Don't do that here, man. If you're going to come up here, at least have some respect,
Yes.
But they don't, and there's plenty of them that are super cool. I've got some that live across the street from me. I don't know where they're from. They're from somewhere down there. And they play this music, that comes through the woods. I hear it during the day and everything. And it doesn't bother me. I like it. It's that not, it's that stuff, but, and like I said, there's plenty of good ones, but man, you just can't let just anybody come in your house, which America is our house.
Yes.
You just can't do that. And it's ridiculous.
That's my neighbors across the street. I would do anything for them.
I do anything for them, yeah.
And the mother can't speak any English, but her children can. And so that's how we communicate. And they have done so much for me, and I've tried to do just as much for them.
Yeah, you can't just put everybody in a box and say these people are screwed up, because they're not. There's a ton of good ones, even illegal good ones. They come up here, they're just trying to find. And the funny thing is, most of those people are actually, they don't know it, but they're conservative. A lot of the Biden administration thinks they're going to gain all these votes by all these people coming over. A lot of them people don't think like they do.
They have their own landscape business. That makes them a conservative.
They're very conservative. Most of them are. They're family oriented. Don't break laws.
And but that depends. Like, okay, last night I was watching Anthony, and he was on the street right there in front of that hotel where they're keeping all of them. It's a motel, whatever it's called. And there was one man standing out there, and he had a little girl. She looked like she was maybe 4 or 5, and he had her by the arm. So, like, you wouldn't just hold your child like that in place the whole time. I don't know. I mean, if I was talking to a stranger and concerned about that stranger, both my arms would be around that baby, not just holding their arm. But anyway, he was trying to talk to him, and he said, where's the mother? And he never would answer. And finally he asked the child, and she said, at home. And he said, where's home? And she looked scared then, and she wouldn't answer. And that's what makes me mad, is there's so much of that going on. There was one man that drove up, and he had his 2 daughters in the car. And for $40, he would take these people to a Walmart to buy whatever they needed, clothes, toiletries, whatever. And then he would take them to his house and let them shower. And he had his 2 daughters in the car with him while he was doing these things.
That's nuts.
Yes. It's just so much all the way around. And these people from a lot of these countries don't like Americans. They have been taught. George knows.
Yeah, they'll never assimilate.
No.
No. You know, when I first retired, I was looking into all sorts of things, like maybe even possibly expatriating to like Brazil or Belize or somewhere like that, you know, where American retirees can go and they can live really cheap and it's beautiful and it's tropical and everything.
Yes.
The more and more I looked into it, I'm good right here where I'm at. The more and more I looked into it, let's see, what was I looking? Costa Rica. Robberies, burglaries, everything is terrible. And the really bad part is, as much as you try, let's say I'm white bread American, man, you know, I'm white boy. You will never assimilate until into their culture. They'll be nice to you and everything else, but you're never ever gonna, you know, and I've really researched this big time. And they will never really truly accept you as one of their community or anything else. You're just ding dong over here, you know, and let's, you know, milk them for everything you've got, you know. But that's kind of sad because, you know, we want, when people come to America, we want people to assimilate into our culture and be Americans. You know, we want that. We do want that, but a lot of them still won't. I mean, take anybody from Somalia. You know, I hate to pick out, you know, one country or something like that, but they're not going to become like us. You know, they're just not going to do that. They're set in their ways and they hate us, man.
They hate the Americans. They're here for the money.
Yeah.
But it's few and far between though. I keep saying if we could just talk to them. Well, watching Anthony talk to them and see how they communicate and what they're saying. Okay, there's a whole bunch of them that we just can't even talk to. They are here for one reason and one reason only, and I'm sorry to say it, but they've been hired. And so the good ones, the families that are actually looking for a better place, it's even hard to tell if they're really families because they're using these kids. Either the kids have been sold to them or they've taken them for whatever reason. And it's just, it is a tough call. I would hate to be the one down there at the border making that call, but there's nobody even trying to make that call. They're just, come on in. It doesn't matter. There's nobody vetting them that I'm seeing.
You saw there where the National Guard, where they were all there holding that gate, and they showed up and they opened the gate up for them.
Yep.
Well, maybe the guy that's in charge of it, Mayorkas, maybe because he has a dual citizenship, he's not really for America. Maybe that's the problem.
Yes. And that's a lot.
The problem. I know it's the problem. Everybody thinks if you had an enemy, I wouldn't be putting somebody as stupid as Biden in front of you. I would if I wanted y'all to blame them, but I wouldn't put that. What people don't understand is this country's been captured, and they're playing this guy as a fool in front of y'all, and y'all want to blame Biden.
No, there's no blaming anybody. I'm just saying.
Listen, I hear Biden's name hooked to everything. Why our gas prices ain't good? Why the borders are being open? Why the illegals are coming here? What's wrong with our education system? Everybody's blaming Biden. Biden's doing what he has to do. They're making him do it. This is what people don't understand. You got an enemy, and you're going to put, and if I'm your enemy, I'm going to fucking put someone this stupid in charge. I'm going to put someone that stupid if I want you to believe he's doing this.
Oh, true.
You show me what great people that ever took over a country ever put somebody as stupid as him in charge.
No.
In history.
And
people,
that was
people
interesting.
Can't see that he's dancing to a tune of the people that have captured your country. I've been trying to wake y'all up, but y'all won't go look and research. Maybe it's because you like these dual citizens running your country.
No, we don't.
Oh, apparently we do, because they're still in office, aren't they? And everybody's looking at Biden, but he's not the one running the border. Mayorkas is.
And no, it's all of them, because he picks them, and then it's up to the Senate to vet them to see if they are qualified for that office. And
but that's because they all signed an agreement to this other country too. All of them are compromised. Every freaking one of them in our government on both sides of the aisle.
Yeah.
Well, what are you going to do when you're? That tells you you say, yeah. That means that you realize that your country is captive. Is what I'm saying.
Well, yeah. I do.
People need to ask why we want dual citizens running our country. They're not in it for your country.
Who was that said that about Germany?
Yeah, where did the Amish come from? Where did the Mennonites come from? Do you know?
All over.
No, they came from Deutschland, Germany, Prussia. What was old Prussia?
Tomcat was the one.
Boy, family-oriented people, hated by everybody. Two Christians that want to be as close as they can to living to God. People that are self-efficient. Them are the people that have inspired us to do what we do in our community. That's why we share food. That's why we grow food together. Because we know that in our community, it's only us if things ever went sour, no matter if we had a bad government, bad weather, whatever the tragedy might be, that we have to pull together. We can't rely on anybody else.
Yeah.
That's where our inspiration comes from.
Oh, we shouldn't be relying. That's where we made the mistake, is relying on our government to make the right choices for us, relying on our government to do the right things for us.
To be our daddy. That's what the other side of the aisle loves to vote for. I need somebody smarter than me to be my daddy, to tell me what to do,
Well, I wouldn't say tell us what to do, but to at least handle the financial, the transport, the foreign trade, things like that.
No.
But they have
don't look at that.
overstepped their power. They have become
Big time.
and power hungry is why we're where we are now. And also there are way too many Americans living on the system. Okay, you're in poverty level, you qualify for this, 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 and this. And then once we start depending on that, then what's going to happen when it's gone?
And see, that's what I'm saying. This
Those
is the
people
hard
are
thing.
gonna be-
The hard thing about it, Bonnie, is we're all connected to this system that we hate
Yes, in one way or the other.
in
Even
one way or the other. Some people are totally
Well, Social
connected to it, have no way out of it. And that's
yes,
the problem when you don't have food security and other securities in your life.
yes,
You're I mean, you can see why the Bible says people are going to have to. I mean, they're going to have to choose, they'll choose life over death because they're afraid of death. And these people know that. That's why they always use death every time for us to agree to let them do whatever they want to do to other countries and everything. They use it all the time against us.
And it's like you guys are talking about money and stupid ways of seeing it. My wife said up there at work, these girls still go in trying to see if they can get a raise, and they tell them to go sign up for food stamps. They'll okay it.
Exactly.
But you
But I
know,
mean, there's a lot of them people that work them jobs are underneath the poverty level, especially. I mean, just think if you were a single mother working at Walmart, you couldn't make ends meet on what they pay somebody. But Walmart puts billions and billions of dollars in their pocket every year, but their employees don't get shit.
What is it up to? $25 an hour at a 40-hour week that a single person needs to get by? Just a single person.
Yeah, without kids.
that's in my house. We've got 3 people working, well, 4 if you count me now, and we're still struggling. 4 people in the house working.
Right.
Of course, some of that is, what do you call it? When you don't have money management. That's what it is. There's a little bit of not knowing how to manage money by some. We're working on that. But it takes that. Bills have to be paid first, and then whatever's left over, you can, whatever. As long as the bills are paid.
Yeah, Tomcat, you're talking about that right there. You guys see that? They're already telling them certain cities are sending the jobs ain't there, the money and the assistance ain't there, and the housing's not there, so they don't know what to tell them. They're already doing that, and they're blaming us.
Yes.
but jobs, all right, and I'm going to be the devil's advocate here. Jobs like Walmart and McDonald's are stepping stones.
Yeah.
To work up to get to a better job. They're not meant to support a household. They're not, okay? And people get mad at me, whatever. I already put myself in the game. I'm trying here. Thomas Jefferson said, and don't quote me on this, but basically I'm going to paraphrase. Thomas Jefferson was a very smart man. Said that we need to take care of our infirm and, people that need assistance, but never let them get comfortable in it, because if they get comfortable, they're never going to change. They're never going to come out of it. They're never going to, and he had a good point there,
Yes.
I worked my ass off, and I went from the lowest paying jobs and just worked until I got to a pretty damn good job. And I had a little bit of college, but it wasn't because of that. It was just I worked hard, and I'm not trying to blow my horn or anything like that, but again, these entry level jobs are not meant to, and the market is what chooses what the minimum wage should be. You know, I mean, the market is. I mean, if I open up a restaurant and I'm going to pay everybody $3 an hour, and nobody comes to work for my restaurant, then poo-poo on me. Then you know, I need to up the ante a little bit. But it should be up to me what I pay people. You know what I mean? It should be up to me, not the government goes $15. You gotta have at least $15. You know, that still ain't gonna get you an apartment, even at $15 an hour. It ain't gonna do it, man. Yeah. You know, I just don't like regulations, man. I don't like government shit. I don't want government to be my daddy. I don't need any of it. I don't need it. You know, I'm sorry. That's my rant.
And I understand that. So what we try to avoid, because we're in a rural town, is having to drive an hour or two to the big city to work.
You might have to. Yeah.
I did that whenever my kids were growing up. I thought that I had to. Yes, the pay was better, but what I was missing out on was the gas that it was taking me to get there.
Yep.
And paying daycare, and then coming home exhausted, making sure they had a home-cooked meal, and then baths and to bed. So I was missing time with them, and I was missing the whole.
And then you wake up and do it all over again every day. It's that.
Yes.
I understand. I'm with you. I had a friend of mine that worked where I worked, you know, at the factory. And he drove 70 miles one way every single day. And I'm like, man, what are you doing? And he said, there's nothing where I live at. There's nothing down there. He's in the middle of nowhere. And he's still doing it to this day. This is 25 years later. He still drives 70 miles one way to work. And it's like,
yes.
I drove 80 miles one way to work for a whole summer.
You know how I got my first job in Georgia? I was walking to the store from my house. I was 13 years old to go get a Coke at this little Circle K store.
All I wanted was a Coke.
Yeah, I walked over there, and right next door they had a stable. And that guy hollered, "Hey, boy, you want a job?" I'm like, "Doing what?" He goes, "Whatever I need you to do." And this was
everything.
77, 78. He goes, "I'll give you $5 an hour." And I'm like, minimum
was
wage.
Good money back then.
He goes, "That minimum wage was what, 2 something, maybe 3?"
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, yeah, it's good money.
I got over and ended up. What I did is I broke horses. I hauled hay. I fed the horses. I rode them, and I broke mules. I fixed wagons. I learned to be a cowboy basically. And hell, when I started working people's horses, I made better money off the tips from the customers, especially horses.
Yes,
you got to figure something out, man. You know, and you lucked out with that. You know, even though you had to work your ass off. I get that, and I work my ass off too, man. I mean, I work freaking hard, man. But
kids don't have the opportunities we had, stuff like that, because a lot of the industry's gone.
Well, and that's where here it's more beneficial for the girls to work at a vineyard than any of the local mom and pops. But even then, when I was working at one of the local restaurants, I was supervisor and bookkeeper. And so, and sometimes I would have to wait the tables. But that was the better pay, where I could take the girls with me to work. If I had to stay till the evening, when it was a holiday, it was day and night. It didn't matter. It was day and night shift all weekend long. And so that's what I ended up doing. Was once I saw it was costing me more to work in the big city with the gas and the daycare and all of that I was paying for, it paid better for me to work.
It doesn't add up. I get that completely. Yeah.
Yes. And I made sure that I worked for people that understood my situation, and I was allowed to take my kids to work if I needed to. If they were sick, I had an office out away from the restaurant where they could stay in there. They were they were quarantined, whatever. They weren't around any of the customers or anything like that.
Good night, Tomcat.
It's you improvise, you figure out.
You've got to figure it out, man.
Yes.
You know, a lot of people don't realize that I was a single dad. I raised my kids myself.
Nice, Tomcat.
You know, and I had to figure out all kinds of stuff. I had to figure out, and I literally, I was working swing shift at my factory, so I'd work like a week of days. And we're talking 7 days at a time, 7 days, and then 7 4 to 12s from 4 in the evening till 12, and then 7 graveyards from midnight to 8. And I've got 2 kids at home.
Yeah.
And I put an ad in Craigslist. It was like right when I figured out what Craigslist was. It was like 2006. And I just said, single dad, I need help. I'll give somebody a free place to live if they watch my kids. I've got to vet you and you know, make sure that you're, you know, somebody who I'm okay with while I go do my job, you know, because I've got these kids, though, you know, and man, I went through quite a few people, and finally this girl she was like 20 years old from Pennsylvania, and her boyfriend was signed up to school for college down here. And they didn't know what they were going to do because he had college. They didn't know where to live. And it came down here, and this was a blessing from God. Her name is Heather. And she came down. She's still my daughter's, and my daughter was only 5, 6 years old. And she's still her best friend now to this day. I gave him a place to live. You can live here free. And I'll feed everybody, you know, I'll get the groceries and everything, you know, but just, you know, and she was her bridesmaid at her wedding, my daughter's wedding, you know, because my daughter's 23 now. And yeah, I mean, it was a blessing from God, man, it was. But you got to figure out, you just got to, I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know what I was going to do. You just got to do what you got to do, man, you know, and God will look out for you and make sure everything will work out some way or another. You know?
Yeah, and it benefited both of y'all. It's awesome.
Benefited both of us. Yes, it did. Her boyfriend, her husband was a dud, but I had to put up with him, you know, for a while. They ended up breaking up, and she stayed here.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was great. She would, I would come home. And I got in a band right after that, you know, because her being there let me get in this band, and I could, you know, be in this band and whatnot, you know. And I'd come up from work, and she'd have dinner ready, and I'd go haul ass to a gig somewhere or something, come back home, and all the kids are, you know, bathed and asleep. And I mean, it was wonderful, you know. I mean, it was like Mary Poppins or some crap, you know. I mean, it really was.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good because finding good help is hard.
Man.
Yes, it is.
But she was like me. She was desperate and looking for something to work out. You know, and it worked out. What they did, what we did was, when I first started talking to them, they came down. It was Thanksgiving, and I always cook Thanksgiving dinner, you know, even if it's just me and my kids. And they came down for Thanksgiving, stayed 2 or 3 days, and you know, they liked me and the kids, and I liked them. And we just, from then on, I said, okay, let's give it a shot and see what happens. And it worked. You know, I mean, it was a blessing from God. It really was. That wasn't luck. That wasn't, you know.
Frog, you brat. I was just fixing to say, no wonder you're so grouchy.
Bonnie, you topics to get out, or you have stuff you wanted to say, or you want to still go live? I'll get off.
You're going good.
Well, guys, don't matter. I gotta go.
Oh.
I want to thank. Well, hey, we got up at 3 o'clock this morning. We're up at 4 o'clock tomorrow morning.
That's early.
We're wasting time here. We got a lot to do before the winter hits, and it's 37 degrees right now here.
Ooh, that's a little chilly.
Good to see you, George.
But yeah, it's definitely good to see you, George.
Where do you
just got
live in
a lot of work to
Alaska?
do. I mean, we work harder now than when we did when we worked. It seems like we work longer hours. I know that. So
He's Upper Peninsula, Yorger.
Oh, he's a yupper.
a youper.
Yep.
A youper.
You
I don't envy you getting up at 4 o'clock. I don't get up before anything before 6 o'clock unless I absolutely have no other choice.
That's because you're a truck driver.
You damn right.
make it sound like it's so bad.
Absolutely. I wouldn't change that for nothing.
Well,
He's
run the
not
wheels
working.
off, buddy. All right, guys. It was good seeing you. Thanks, Chuck.
Yeah, absolutely. Good talking to
Okay,
you.
good talking to you.
Take care, George.
So
We
you
need
guys,
a- I'm sorry.
did you get your topics out you wanted to?
Oh no, not even close.
Well, speaking of topics, I almost ate too much. I had to quit while I was ahead. Otherwise, they'd have to carry me out of there in a wheelbarrow.
And that 17-pound burrito and
Well,
a chicken
it was-
tango on the side.
Right. Well, to be fair, I skipped the chimichanga on the side. I did chips, salsa, and queso, and then ate about half the burrito. I'll finish the other half of the 3-pound burrito tomorrow.
That thing looked good.
It is. It's a Mexican restaurant run by a local family, and they make the chips. They get them in. They make them fresh. They make the salsa fresh. You know, if you want a side of queso to dip too, they'll charge you like $6 for a bowl of queso. You can have some queso. It's
Yeah,
the white queso too, not your normal yellow queso, but it's good.
What part of the country are you in?
I am in the land of criminal governors, Northwest Illinois.
Okay. Here's a weird thing that Mexican restaurants do here, and this is Virginia.
Okay.
They have this, that when they bring you the chips, they bring you the normal what's that red sauce? Salsa. But they also bring you this white sauce, and for the life of me, I don't know what's in it, but it's freaking so good. I think it might.
Is it like the white sauce is like a melted cheese?
No. It's like it looks like ranch dressing or something. But what I found out, because my oldest daughter works in a restaurant, she said they invented that here in Virginia, like in Virginia Beach. And it's a Virginia thing now. It's tangy and
probably more than likely what it is. It's one of two things. It's either what's called a queso dip, which is basically you take salsa and you take white cheese.
No, there's no cheese.
You melt the cheese and you have your salsa and your cheese mixed together.
It ain't that. It's like got the consistency of like ranch dressing, but it's not ranch. It's close, but there's something tangy and spicy in there, and it's good. And
probably jalapenos, probably.
No, I don't think so. It's something they invented in Virginia, and all the Virginia Mexican restaurants now have it, but nobody says anything about it. I mean, it's like, it's weird. It didn't come out of Mexico or wherever.
Right.
But it's good.
I'm not sure what kind of sauce it is, but
it's good.
It sounds like queso. Whether it's the orange or the white. Excuse me, queso. That's what it sounds like, even though it's not what it is. It's what it
something
sounds
different,
like.
Man. It's something different, and it's really good.
Queso Blanco, and it's made with the special white cheeses instead of the.
Right. No, and I know it's not the queso Blanco, but
nope. I swear it's like ranch dressing, but there's something else different in there that gives it this weird spice that I can't tell you what it is.
Sometimes you can go to the restaurant's website and they'll tell you the recipe or at least the ingredients of what they serve.
Yeah, I think it's only a Virginia thing, I thought it was a Mexican thing, but it's not. It's a Virginia thing. It's weird. They all do it. All of these places around here innovate.
They make it this Chinese or this Mexican place over in Marshall makes a white dip too. They don't give it out, or they give that out. They don't give queso out. This white stuff looks like queso. Got the same peppers and stuff, but it's like a sour creme fraiche something. It's awesome. And you can tell it's got multiple different things. Like it's got avocado in it. You can tell that, but it's still white. And I think it's like tomatillas or something.
It's chimichurri sauce. I don't know what it is, you know? But it's good on a chimichurri.
All of our Mexican restaurants serve. It's fresh made. The chips they have a fryer just for the chips, and they make their own chips, salsas, the queso, the verde, the green sauce. All that's homemade.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Guacamole.
No, the green sauce is not guacamole. It's made with tomatillos, I think.
Okay. I like all that stuff. Anything Mexican, I'll eat it. I don't care what it is.
Guacamole is awesome. When I
Except
became
for,
allergic to avocados, I cried. And I like eating frog.
And I guess I'm gonna cut it off. I've been on an hour and a half.
All right, Chucky baby.
Okay, I'll go kickstart mine. What Frog just said, sour cream, chives, and onion.
Yeah, it's good. I sort of like it.
And I even add spinach and celery sauteed in butter, and then add that in, and it's good.
That does sound good.
Good night, everybody. Thanks y'all for coming up.
Have a good night. It's good to see all y'all.
And you gonna crank yours up?
Yep. We'll see if anybody shows up. I see a lot of lives going up.
Let me drop the link. I'll be over there shortly if you get it up.
Even if not, it'll be there if somebody decides to go watch it later or whatever.
Hey, thanks for having me up, Chuck, man. I appreciate it, man.
You're welcome anytime, bud.
It's good to talk to you, Yorga. Meet puppets.
Thanks, Bonnie, George, Neat, Yorga. I thank all y'all for showing, coming.
Oh, no
y'all
problem.
Blessed weekend and try to enjoy the cooler weather. It's weird here. I woke up this morning, felt like it's 40 or 50 degrees difference than it was 2 weeks ago.
I know it's 50. I'm looking right now. It's 56 degrees outside. I had the windows open, and it's a nice, non-humid, nice cool coming in the house. I'm digging it. So
Our low tonight is 50. So it is 30 degrees or more. Well, that's 50 degrees difference. Then
55 here now.
yeah.
Oh,
Get
you
ready
guys.
for a heck of a winter, Chuck.
Yeah, I'm hoping it doesn't go straight into freezing and start killing everything off. That I was going to try to get a second season of stuff because I didn't really get to eat anything. The first thing I really got to eat on my garden was today. I picked 2 bell peppers off and fried them with some onion and some other stuff.
Now my tomatoes and peppers are just starting to bloom again, and I'm like, don't freeze.
I think I found your sauce that you were talking about. It's a Mexican white sauce. Sorry for stepping on you.